Welcome back to my channel, and I hope that y'all have a pen and paper ready because I have so many book recommendations that are just perfect for the summertime. We have some romances, we have some thrillers, we have some literary fiction, whatever you want, we got it. And then at the end, I'm gonna tell y'all some books on my summer TBR, but let's get into it because it's a lot. Let's get started. Starting off with one of my favorite authors, we have Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have Carrie Soto is Back, and then Malibu Rising. I love both of these, and genuinely, I think that these are very hit or miss for people, but they just scream summertime. This book right here, I went into this with the lowest of expectations because I was like, tennis? I don't know a single dang thing about tennis. I sobbed my eyes out. I sobbed like a little baby. I loved this book so much. This book had so much depth to it, and the father-daughter relationship and just her comeback era was everything for me. There's also like a little inkling of romance in it, but that's not the main plot of this thing at all. This book is literally The Man by Taylor Swift. Those are the vibes. Love this one way more than I thought I ever would. Malibu Rising is just perfect for a day at the beach. We're probably one of the most dysfunctional families of all time, and we are at a house party in the 80s. But then we also have another story going on that is following their mom and dad's relationship in the beginning of their family as a whole, and this book is stunning. I love a story within a story, and this was everything to me. I kid y'all not, I read this book on release day, and I did not move from my couch until I was done with it. I was on that thing for several hours, but I was like, I can't put this story down. And I loved it so much. Another book that I think would be great if you're wanting to read at the beach or by the pool is Expiration Dates. This book is literally under 250 pages, and it has the coolest premise ever. We're following our main character, Daphne, and ever since she was like 12 or 13, you just find these random pieces of paper that would have someone's name on it and then a length of time, aka an expiration date, and this would be her next relationship and how long it's going to last. So for example, it could be like someone's named Seth, 12 days, and that's how long her relationship with Seth would be. One day while she is walking, she comes across a piece of paper and it has someone's name on it, but no date. And so Daphne's thinking to herself, this is my soulmate. This is the person I'm meant to spend the rest of my life with. I also just want to preface that this book takes place in the modern world, and so Daphne receiving these slips of paper is not normal at all, and no one else is experiencing this. So the person that she's seeing has no clue that like it could be each other's soulmate. We're also get to see glimpses into Daphne's past relationships and what went wrong. And you're thinking to yourself, was it actually this little paper that made this relationship end? Was it Daphne? Was it second guessing? Like, what is going on? And it's so good. I read this one in one sitting, under 250 pages. So fun. Next, we have one of my romance queens, and that is Abby Jimenez. I specifically pulled out just for the summer for y'all, but literally any of her books work for this time. I love this one so much. This relationship essentially starts on a Reddit thread following Justin and Emma. In this Reddit thread, Justin's talking about how every single time he dates someone, as soon as they break up, that person finds their soulmate immediately. Emma's reading this Reddit thread and goes, oh my gosh, that's me. That happens to me all the time. And so they get in contact, they're texting each other, and then one of them has the idea of, hey, if every single time you date someone, they break up, they find their soulmate, and the same thing happens to me, what happens if we date? If we date each other, we break up, will we then find our soulmate and who we're supposed to spend the rest of our lives with? So they're gonna test out this theory. If you like learning about attachment styles, I think that this book would definitely be for you. It focuses on that, and I think it is so well done. The mental health representation, this thing is top tier, and Abby Jimenez just does it right every single time. Every single time. Please read this one. I don't know about y'all, but ever since I watched the Hannah Montana movie as a kid, summertime equals yeehaw season. It's yeehaw season. So I recommend to y'all the Rebel Blue Range series by Lila Sage. We've done and dusted, which is the first book, and then Swift and Saddled. They're interconnected standalones, so if one of the premises does not intrigue you, you can just jump to the other book and you really won't be confused. This one is Brother's Best Friend, and then this one is Black Cat, Golden Retriever, Forced Proximity, a little bit of workplace romance. They are both so fun, and again, since they're interconnected standalones, you see certain characters that were from the first book pop up in the second book. There's a third one coming out later this year. I want to say in like November. It's called Lost and Lassoed, and I think a fourth one's coming out early next year. This series is so well done, and also it's gonna be a TV show. It's gonna be a TV show, so make sure you read the books. Speaking of yeehaw season, y'all should definitely check out the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. Again, they're interconnected standalones. There are 5 books in the series, and genuinely I gave 3 out of 5. 5 stars. I was obsessed. I was in love. I still think about Reckless almost daily. Almost daily. It's one of my favorites to ever exist. First book, Flawless, is Grumpy Sunshine, workplace relationship. The second one is Heartless, and that is single parent nanny. Please and thank you. The third book is Powerless. That one actually is more hockey than yeehaw. It's still such a fun time. That is Friends to Lovers. Also Runaway Bride. Such a fun one. And then fourth one, which is Reckless, unexpected, unplanned pregnancy. Mirror ball, girly. I love Reckless so much. Theo Silva for life. Last book in the series is Hopeless, and that is a fake engagement story that I absolutely love. Definitely check these out. I actually don't own any of them because they're on Kindle Unlimited, so I slowly need to start acquiring them. But they are so worth your time. And if you finish that, you're like, oh my gosh, I need more from Elsie Silver, but I don't know if I'm in the mood for another cowboy romance. Check out Wild Love by her. So this one's not a cowboy romance, but it is a small town. It's a little bit of childhood frenemies to lovers / brother's best friend. I love this one so much. If you've already read the Chestnut Spring series, y'all know Willa. And so in this story, we are focusing on Willa's brother. You do not have to read the Chestnut Spring series first, but they are connected. I think Elsie Silver did a really good job of making the series separate from the Chestnut Springs. So again, if you read this one without Chestnut Springs, you shouldn't be confused one bit. It's on Kindle Unlimited as well. Did y'all really think I was gonna make a summer recommendations video not mention Emily Henry? She's literally the queen of summer. Now I only have 3 of her books here. The other 2, they also work for the summertime, but like these 3 are the epitome of summer in my opinion. We have Beach Read, which honestly is one of my Roman Empire books. We have People We Meet on Vacation, which justice for this book. I feel like it's everyone's least favorite by her, and I ate it up. If you are an Amy March defender from Little Women, you will love Poppy in this book. I think Amy March and Poppy are literally the same person. So I think if you go in with that mindset, you'll really enjoy this one. And then we have Happy Place, which is giving all the Maine lobster roll vibes you could ever ask for. These books are amazing. There's a reason Emily Henry is so popular. Lean into the hype. It's your sign to finally read these things. Enjoy and fall in love. If you've already read every Emily Henry book that exists, you need to read You with a View by Jessica Joyce. I think this one is so similar to Beach Read in the best way possible. If y'all have ever seen the rom-com Letters to Juliet, that is this book. I will not rest until every single one of y'all have read this one. Like genuinely, it is one of my favorite books to ever exist. And anytime y'all tell me that you've read it and loved it, my heart could just burst. Literally could just burst out of my chest. You have a road trip element. You have a little bit of like academic rivals to lovers element. You get to follow someone while they're in the grieving process. You also get to follow these people with no clue what they're doing with their life, even though if you're looking at them from the surface, everything seems like it's figured out. It's not, and I appreciate that because that is so real and honest. I love this one so much. The X-Files, I'll put a picture on the screen for y'all up here. Please add that one to your summer TBR as well because it is literally, hang with me right here, Maroon by Taylor Swift, mixed with You're Losing Me by Taylor Swift, mixed with This Love by Taylor Swift, with like a sprinkling of Paper Rings. I don't know how we could put all of those songs in one book, but Jessica Joyce did, and she did it well. Please, 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 please add that one to your TBR. She's great, a new favorite author of mine. Another author that I just think screams summertime is Carly Fortune. We have Every Summer After, Meet Me at the Lake, and This Summer Will Be Different. These are stunning. I love them so much. My favorite, I believe, is Every Summer After, and then This Summer Will Be Different. Meet Me at the Lake I liked, but like it wasn't my fave. It wasn't anything too special for me. If y'all like The Summer I Turned Pretty, this is for you. If y'all like Love in Other Words, this is for you. It is so good. If you just want a book with fun vibes, this one is for you. You can just tell that Carly Fortune at the time of her life writing this one, the forbidden love element of it, the sneaking around element of it was everything. It goes hard and I wish I would have saved this one to read on the beach. Again, I liked Meet Me at the Lake, but it wasn't anything super special to me. We were following these characters that met like years and years and years ago. They only got to spend one day together, but it was like the best day of both of their lives. And then they go their separate ways and immediately, oh my gosh, he shows back up. And you go from there. Y'all need something to binge over the summer. We have the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series by Becca and Krista Ritchie. The series is 10 books long. I know you're looking at me being like 10 books. You're kidding me. I know that y'all have heard this series. I know that y'all have. It's on Kindle Unlimited. So if your main reason for not reading this thing is because you don't want to drop all your money on 10 books, which is completely valid, they're on Kindle Unlimited and they are so good. We have a fake dating friends to lovers story within our first book here that is surrounding 2 people that have addictions, that are surrounding 2 addicts, but 2 addicts of different things. And it's so good, but like don't even get me started because once you add in the Calloway Sister series with this, it's immaculate. It is all the found family you could ever ask. So fun, but like also heavy, but like also like you can't put it down. If you like reality TV, these are for you. Please read these. A few years ago, I brought the first 3 of these with me on vacation. And I kid you not, I had to Amazon the next book to where we were staying because I was on such a cliffhanger and I was like, I have to keep going. I can't stop. And I have no regrets. I have no regrets. You're wanting a cutie summer romance with no spice, I got you. I would recommend Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I actually have not read the first book in this series at all, but I was not confused. So if you haven't read When in Rome, you can still read this one and be perfectly fine because I ate this up. We're following Annie, and Annie's brother is currently with like either a singer or an actress, one of the two. And so she has a bodyguard. The bodyguard moves to the small town to make sure that, of course, that person is protected. While he's in the small town, he meets Annie. Annie has a flower shop. They're always spending all their time together, but Annie has always been placed on a pedestal in this town. She's like the town's good girl, hasn't done anything with her life, and just feels all this pressure to continue being good, but also like she's like, I haven't lived. I haven't lived at all. And so her and the bodyguard strike up a friendship, as I said, and he helps her with some of these things. Again, no spice, it's closed door, but it's just really wholesome. It's just so wholesome. And we have Catherine Center. I love Catherine Center. Genuinely, any of her books would work. I would also recommend Hello Stranger for y'all, but The Bodyguard's my favorite. 5 out of 5 stars. Read it in one sitting. This is The Proposal Miss Congeniality in one book. We're following our female bodyguard, and she has been assigned to a new case where she is to protect this actor right here. He has so many fans. I pictured him like Harry Styles level in this world. He has so many fans. He has so many people following him around at all times. He has some fans that are a little scary / dedicated, and so thus why he needs this bodyguard. He doesn't want to freak his family out by telling him that he needs this extra bodyguard, so he just looks at the bodyguard and goes, you know what? Change of plans. I'm actually gonna tell my family that we're dating because it's the only reason that they're gonna believe that you're always around me, so we're fake dating. Woo! It's everything. It is everything and more. No spice, so fun. Wish I could read again for the first time. Please go pick this one up. Also the spine has flowers. If you're not wanting a romance this summer, that's okay because I have so many thriller recs for y'all. If y'all watch White Lotus, you want that slow burn, antsy, on edge feeling, you need to check out Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. I'm not gonna tell you much about this except we are following this couple who agreed to go on this little boating trip and they end up on an island. It's a slow burn thriller, so if you are wanting like boom, 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 this one will not be for you. Again, White Lotus. You don't know what is going on, but like you can't stop. You can't stop. If you're like me and you grew up watching Pretty Little Liars and you loved Mona, you need to read She Started It by Sean Gilbert. Following this group of girls who when they were in high school were so mean and so cruel to this one girl. We're gonna fast forward several years in the future. We see that this one girl that they were super mean to is getting married. Her life is all figured out, planned, is amazing, and she's getting married. And so she sends bachelorette invitations to all the people that were rude to her in high school. And for some reason, this group of girls is like, you know what? Yes, let's take this vacation. It's completely free, even though we haven't talked to her since we were incredibly rude to her. Let's go. It's gonna be a great time. They show up and they're the only ones there with the person that they were so mean to in high school. Things start to happen and it is crazy. And it is literally Mona from Pretty Little Liars, in my opinion. And I ate this one up. I couldn't stop. I read this one until like 3 a.m. But I was also like having the heebie-jeebies because it's a thriller. This was everything. If you're wanting more of a family thriller / domestic thriller, I would look into Not a Happy Family by Sherry Lapina. This one is definitely a whodunit story. We're following this family. Their mom and dad unexpectedly pass. Their parents are very, very wealthy. They have 3 children who they don't have the best relationship with. They're trying to figure out who the heck is going to inherit all the money, but also like who their parents, because obviously someone close to their parents had to have had access to the house to do that. It reminded me a lot of Knives Out for that way. It doesn't have like the puzzle pieces, but it does have the who did this, why twist. If you're wanting a YA thriller, I would recommend The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I've only read the first book in this series, but I am planning on reading the rest this summer. It was so fun. We have a little bit of a love triangle. Again, it's YA, but like it is angsty, and so I accept it. We're following this group of kids who are moved to the specific house owned by the FBI so they can be a part of the Naturals program. This is because they are all gifted in a certain element that can help the FBI. So one is really good at reading people, reading emotions. We have some profiles. We have some people that are really good at math. Like, they are good at what they do. The FBI is putting them on these cold cases to figure out and eventually training them so that when the time comes, they will be able to join when they get older. But one of our characters is a little too close to comfort for one of these cases and things kind of go crazy and they're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And for a YA book, I was kind of scared. Like, some of the things that happened in this thing, like, genuinely scared me, but I couldn't stop. Like, I prefer this to the Inheritance game, which I don't know if that's a bold claim or not, but I really, really loved this one and cannot wait to continue on in the series. This is literally young adult Criminal Minds. All right, now let's talk about some of the books that I want to read this summer that are on my summer TBR. First, I want to read Something by Lynn Painter. I have never read a book by her, and I feel like summer is the perfect season. We have Better Than the Movies, which I've been told is going to be 5 out of 5 for me. And then we have The Do-Over, which I'm a little more nervous for, but I had to buy just because look at the sprayed edges. I mean, I'm only human. I'm not gonna be able to pass that up. That's stunning. I just feel like these two books are gonna be super cutie and fast paced, so I might save them for if I get into a reading slump. I know nothing about them, except I think this one is like an homage to early 2000s rom-coms. I really wanna read Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood. I've only read one Allie Hazelwood book before, and it was Bride, and so I feel like this is gonna be drastically different, but I think it's gonna be drastically different for the better. Because Bride was not my favorite thing in the world. And so I'm curious how I'm gonna feel about this one. I've heard that the main love interest, our main male character, is immaculate, is amazing, and I'm gonna be swooning. And that's all I need to know. I also really wanna read Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan. I read Summer Romance by her earlier this year and I loved it. Add that to your summer TBR, by the way. I didn't mention that earlier in the video, but add that to your summer TBR. I ate it up. I don't know a single dang thing about this book except that I need to read it while I'm at the beach. I need to be sitting in the sand reading this book. Oh my gosh. And it's under 300 pages. And finally, I'm hoping to get to The Rom-Commers by Catherine Senner. This is the same author of The Bodyguard. I love her writing style. Literally every book that I've read by her has been like a 4.5 or higher. And the reviews for this one are so good. My only issue with it is sometimes I struggle with books set in Hollywood / set around famous people, but this one was set around famous people. And I ate it up and I loved it. So I'm hoping that Catherine Senner is just like the exception for me. I get her books from Book of the Month, by the way, and I absolutely love the way that they look on my shelf. Not sponsored, but love. Those are all my summer book recs for y'all. If y'all have any recommendations for me, please leave them down below because I'm always looking for new books to read. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content from me, make sure to hit the little subscribe button. But that's all I have, guys. So thank y'all so much for being here. Love y'all and see y'all soon.